Happy Tuesday, YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I want to get on here and talk to you guys about senior life insurance. For most of you guys that have known me, you know that I've had a long history with senior life for over a decade. In fact, in 2011, when Ron reached out to me to help him expand in California, we just did that. My agency was the first group to write the first piece of business in California. And within 90 days, we were writing $100,000 a month in annualized premium. That was back in 2011. And shortly after that, my agency became #1 at senior life for a few years before, obviously, I moved into the broker world. And, you know, for all these years that I hadn't written a policy for senior life, we're talking about late 2016, maybe early 2017, senior life has delivered on their word. They've paid my residuals every single month. And, you know, some people ask, well, why did he leave in the first place? Why did he go into the broker world? You know, when you work in the insurance business, there's things that sometimes we don't know, right? And that happens. And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes it's easier to go and work with a carrier that's giving you this massive contract, but then you find out that that carrier wasn't ready for telesales. Didn't have the right structure to handle your business. And for me, that happened with several insurance carriers where we would come in ready to rock and roll, deliver on our sales. But because people were so scared about telesales before COVID, it was much more challenging. But again, we learn from our mistakes. And I have definitely learned from my mistakes over the years. But you know what? Without those mistakes, we wouldn't be here today. This coming up year is going to mark 20 years since I first started my career selling final expense. Simple. So, what has changed? Senior Life's products have expanded. They've gotten better. They keep growing. But more importantly, at the end of the day, regardless of the back and forth, because again, in business, it's never easy. And I'm not the easiest guy to get along with, trust me. But at the end of the day, Senior Life has kept their word to me, to my family. And in return, that right there is what's motivated me to come back and build something exclusive, special. I'm 45. Time is of the essence. So if you're watching this, I'm going to break down a little bit more about Senior Life. I want to share where they're at today, what are their benefits, what are the rewards, and see if maybe you can find a home at Senior Life. First of all, let me go ahead and share my screen, guys. Bear with me here. Senior Life. This is an amazing building. But what's crazy is back in 2010, when I first came to Senior Life was operating out of a shopping center. They had purchased the shopping center and redid it. Beautiful. But it was a shopping center that's down the street from this beautiful building. I was there, I saw it. And here we are today in their new building. And again, it's just a proof of just how far Senior Life has come. Amazing. Now, for those of you guys that don't know Ron Powell is the CEO and president of Senior Life. And me and Ron have had some history for over a decade. And like I say, we're friends. We've been back and forth with each other. But at the end of the day, We've always been able to move forward as friends and move forward as business associates. And that's respectable. Because trust me, there was times we didn't talk because I was upset or he was upset. But guess what? When you're working with folk that are doing what they say they're going to do, regardless if time has passed, you can work with that. But the biggest thing that I've always liked about Ron Powell, truly for me, is that he's highly relatable. And that's because he's in insurance just like you and me. He knows what it takes. And Ron's the only guy that I know in the insurance business right now that's still living, that went out as an agent, purchased his own insurance carrier, and here we are 20 years later since the day that Ron purchased Senior Life, and they keep growing. Let's be real. Insurance sales, it's not easy. Paying commission, staying on top of everything is not easy. So imagine an agent just like you and me. It's a whole different ballgame. It's common nowadays to see huge insurance agencies, great. But when you own the insurance company, traditionally speaking, insurance companies have always been profitable. And this is something that I admire about Ron because it took a lot of courage to do this. He could have failed. And here we are 20 years later, and they're having success. We all know that it takes a few years for a policy to become successful for an insurance company. We know that. Typically 3 years in, from the moment in time you signed up that policy, 3 years in, the carrier's seeing a profit. Look at all the owners of insurance companies across the nation, whether privately held or publicly, and you will see just how much money they are making. Ridiculous. So it's impressive to have an agent in the field that sold, that knows what we go through on a daily basis. And for me, from the time that I met Ron to this day, I still admire that about him. I mean, I met with Ron a couple months ago, and, you know, I'm in California, he's in Georgia. But to think that this gentleman, he don't have to work. He got high-level executive team. They can do all of this. But he does. I see him on videos. I see him traveling all over the country, building from the front. And that's an amazing sign for all of you guys that want to grow and build something. So as you know, Senior Life, guys, our number one focus is selling final expense. That's our ticket. I've sold thousands of applications with Senior Life, and that is all we focus on. That's our niche, and we're going to stay in that niche. Now, it's obvious that Senior Life has a proven system. There's no question. People can talk garbage, make comments, be derogatory, have a pissing contest, but this is not about that, because every company, regardless of where you work at, you got your good points and you got your bad points. But I always like to look at things as a total package opportunity, considering everything that it takes to make it in this business. For all of you guys that know this, you know, 150% commission schedule is a pretty high compensation. Renewals, I can vouch for that. My renewals have been high because my percentages have been high. Vested day one, what that means for all of you guys that don't know, it just means that the moment in time you sign up with Senior Life, that application going forward is yours. Bottom line. So if you were to leave and you have no debts that need to be paid to the company, you take that money with you. Vested day one. This is so important to your income. Health insurance benefits. That's huge. I know a lot of insurance agents out there that have no health insurance. As funny as that sounds. Stock ownership. Senior Life gives you an opportunity to participate in that stock, own a part of your business. That's how you make more money. And for years, Senior Life has excelled in their lead gen. It's obvious. You turn on your television, you see their TV. Back in the day when we were working with Senior Life years ago, we had yellow pages, television. So Ron's always been ahead of the game with lead gen. There's no question. They go out and make the investment to put the marketing out there. They generate the lead and they give access to agents to acquire leads. But again, nothing's perfect. And a lot of you guys sometimes you have like this false expectation of having this perfect scenario. Nothing is perfect. Again, but a whole package. I talked to you guys about the benefits and the rewards. For me, obviously, no matter where you go to work at, doesn't matter. The performers get rewarded. Bonuses, watches, incentive trips, etc. I like cash. In the past, we've had carriers that offer a trip. We just take the cash instead in lieu of the trip. But I believe that the best benefit for agents, again, is the 100% health benefits. I've used Senior Life's health insurance for many, many years. 100%. So when you look into their health, there's no missing points. There's no, holes in the net. And that's huge because it's 100% health. Sometimes we hear about, an 80 or 20. This is 100%. You can't beat that. And what do? They help out with a payment. Now, for those of you guys that are new, right? You're in the industry, because I've been talking to a lot of new people that are getting their license. In fact, the last 30 days, we've helped over 57, 58 new people start their journey in getting licensed and becoming an agent. This is really important for you to understand because it shows you the different avenues of money. First one is your first year commissions. When you make a sale, you get an advance, pay through compensation. So whatever you didn't get advance, that's owed to you. In this case, they settle that against their chargebacks. For me personally, I like the 100% chargeback method. So if I have Miss Jones that fell off the book and my chargeback $700, I want Senior Life to take it out the next check. Because one of my experiences has been is this. When you forget about these chargebacks and you're not watching your quality, like a lot of agents, man, they're not making follow-ups, they're not calling on their customers, making sure that they're staying on the books. It's very easy for you to forget about how many people are canceling. So imagine if your cancellation rate is getting out of hand over a 20% mark, you're going to be in a situation where you never see a pay through. Why? Because it's like a credit card. You owe the money, but you've decided to pay at a later date. When you do it in this way, it's going to take a few months to build up your pay through. Bottom line, it could take you a year to really build it out. But I promise you, if you're not watching your chargebacks, you're not watching your clients, you'll never see a pay through. Why? Because what you owe in chargebacks and what your account is earning monthly don't match. And I share this with you because a lot of agents that want to take this approach, I highly discourage them myself, and I'd rather them take 100% chargeback out of their check. That way they know, because they received the chargeback, who fell off the books, who didn't, and they're on it. I keep talking about renewals, and I've been talking about renewals for years. But again, after your first year, every single time your client makes a payment, you get a little percentage. And when you have thousands of applications, it's true passive income for you and your family. Overrides for you, if you're considering maybe building an agency, you can hire an agent, show them how to sell insurance over the telephone. And every time that agent that you're helping makes a sale, you get a little percentage. And I will tell you, with Senior Life's compensation structure, there's definitely room, to promote people into the higher brackets of these compensation structures. Plus, you have an override pay through. So same thing. When your agents are having a renewal, you're having a renewal. When they're getting a commission, you're getting a commission. And agency value, I think, is a great topic, because a lot of agents I talk to and I ask them to show me their residuals. It's sad to see, but not many people out there actually have a residual component that they're proud of. For me, just with Senior Life alone, they've paid me thousands upon thousands of dollars for many, many years. And that right there, there's a value there. In the past, I've sold blocks of insurance business, and there's value because it's a true passive income. And last, stock ownership. You can buy into your piece of business. So not only do you get your commission, but you can also buy in to your piece of business as a stock owner. And here we're looking at commission schedules. Now, please be advised that with all these different products, right, it's not one set commission. So for example, you're going to have a product where you are getting paid, let's say 100%, right? But then you're going to have maybe some modified, guaranteed issue. Those type of products are going to pay a lower commission. That's obvious. And you cannot expect to get 100% commission on guaranteed underwriting risk. You can't. So I want you guys to understand that even though you see these numbers, right? But under these contract levels, there's different product lines. So not all their products are going to pay what you see here in front of you. Okay? I want to be totally clear with you. And in fact, most insurance companies, each one of their products has a different commission. So that's why when people say, well, I got a 150% contract, that's fine. But then when you start looking at where they're placing their risk, you'll notice that you get 150 here, you're getting 120% here, maybe you're getting 80% here because of the type of risk. And that, my friends, is obvious. But this is how you increase your compensation level. I get agents all the time wanting the highest comp. But when I look at their sales history and what they've done, there's really not much there to really merit some of the higher compensation. So you got to be able to walk before you run. Now, if you want to negotiate, you want to fight for a higher compensation, hey, I'm all ears. But you got to bring me some real documentation and show me that you're obviously having success doing this. Insurance sales is definitely a six-figure opportunity. For me, when I started selling insurance in 2004, at 25 years old, I made $113,000 year one. No college. My second year, I did over 200,000. My third year, over 360,000. And then it exploded to over 600,000. Selling what? Final expense policies. If you follow their system, if you follow their platform, the way that they process apps, that's the hardest part, following a system. Sometimes agents, what they want to do is they try very hard to re-engineer things, and that's what things get messed up. In fact, I've been there before myself. I made that mistake many times. But it's a learning process. And here's an example of how these commissions work. Here's 7 sales, $650 per application, which is very fair. That's $4,550. And in this example, if you had a 90% contract and all of these 7 applications were in the 90% category, so you had no guarantee issue or no modified, then $4,095 would be a real number. But to be transparent, we're dealing with risk. We're dealing with people that have different health issues from all walks of life. I've been noticing a lot of COPD. I've been noticing a ton of diabetes, high blood pressure combinations, tons of medications. So it'd be stupid of me to let you know that this doesn't exist. It happens. But as you're helping people, you're building yourself, it all works out in the end. I heard years ago, I would hear this one group that they would say, oh, we don't write no guaranteed issue. Okay. Well, then they were just selling insurance, but anything that came guaranteed issue, they would just walk away from it. I have a hard time with that because these folk that are looking for some insurance, they're totally okay waiting 2 years in most cases for a guaranteed product. Totally okay. Why wouldn't you help that person attain some insurance has been my question over all these years. So please be advised, that does happen. And obviously, building an agency like I did at Senior Life, I've made several $1,000,000 off my agency that I built with Senior Life. I've been there, I've done that. Now, this Slice app, in my opinion, is sweet. This is a game changer for Senior Life because when I started on the phone, we were using little recorders. We plugged the recorder into the phone, and then we take the recorder and record the conversation. We have to fill out the application, then send it to a Senior Life's policy department. Today, that stuff's over, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And this is what excites me about them. Here is their interface. So when you pick up the phone, you say, good morning, this is Laurel in the final expense department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? You're off to the races by putting in the customer's name, and all the questionnaires populate. And by asking the questions and mainly putting in the medications, because Senior Life does not do an MIB check. They don't do no blood work. They just do a script check. So you must ask all those medications so that way you can get a true underwriting. So for example, whatever their medication is, you type that in. Diabetes is what shows up, and you move on. Get all the medications, and you move on. And here are all the products that they qualify for. And by the time you end this process here, you make a recording. The recording goes directly to Senior Life, and it goes to get issued. Now, with Senior Life, they pay on bank draft. So when the client makes the payment, 3 days later, once they confirm that payment, you'll see the advance. Sometimes, for agents out there that, coming from other companies that pay on issue, I can understand how that can be a little buzzkill for you. But remember, nothing is ever perfect. And we're looking at a complete package. In this case, yes, you will be paid on bank draft. But Senior Life does something for all their agents. They finance you the leads. So, the charges will come out of your commissions. And that offsets the fact that maybe you're not liking the fact that they pay on draft, not issue. Senior Life is probably one of 3 companies that I know of personally that provides a financing structure where they'll deduct the charges from your commissions. And again, here's all their products here. What's missing here is their platinum. The platinum policy rate is the cheapest rate in America right now. And it pays a way lower fee, but it's a commission, but it's continuous for the first 5 years. So the offset is that you're making this huge renewals every month on all of your platinum. But regardless, if you're looking for day one coverage, the cheapest rate in America, or you're looking for guaranteed issue, no health questions, you got it covered. And I have made thousands of presentations over the years, and I've heard it over and over and over, the type of risks that we deal with. And it's good to have one place where you can place all that business. What's challenging sometimes when you're a broker and you're representing other carriers, like I've done, is that you're trying to find which one's the best one, and you're jumping through hoops sometimes. You're going here, you're going there. And when you look at it, you really never build nothing. So Senior Life, you can definitely handle all underwriting issues and all price points under one roof. And, leads the way for Senior Life. This is one of their ways that they deliver leads to folks. But with that said, I want to focus on some other points here. We know that leads are important. I'm a big, big fan of leads. But we're going to pass this up for now. Legacy assurance. Look, this is a value-added product. And for many years, I have given credit to Senior Life for legacy assurance because of what it's really done for my block of business and my renewals. The reason that my residuals still pay a solid monthly payment every single month is because of legacy assurance. In fact, when I teamed up with Ron in 2011, he told me that he was going to build a value-added product that would compete with any, a memorial guide that a funeral can add, or a memorial guide that maybe I could put together. And what he said was, he says, I'm going to build something for you guys that has some teeth. Now, look, I have worked memorial guides and they're effective. And I've negotiated with funeral homes many, many times. In fact, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find 3 or 4 videos of me talking with the funeral homes and, really helping my customers fill out the memorial guide. Why? Because for all of my career, it's been obvious that this type of service that we provide to our clients for free helps with retention. But what makes legacy such an amazing opportunity is that it's an inflation killer on merchandise. I know that when I started my career in 2004, a 20 gauge steel casket was about $4,500. Here we are 20 years later, and they're about $8,000. Think about it. $3,000 to $4,000 more 20 years later. That's life. Now, if my clients would have had this 20 years ago and they died, then they would have gotten that casket locked in at $4,500 at 2004 prices. That is amazing. And I just can't emphasize how many of my clients over the years have reached out to me. They were happy. Even funeral homes were shocked because the federal law states that you can buy your casket anywhere and they got to use it and they can't charge you a fee. Now, for $4 a month, the family gets a membership, and everyone in that family, the merchandise gets locked in. You can't beat that. Now, some people say, oh, well, why are they charging? Why not? The amount of effort that it takes to do something like this is a lot, and the value is unmeasurable. So, of course, we got to pay the bills to keep the people employed. That's obvious. But locking in the cost, it makes sense to me. And another thing, too, give me a second here, I want to add, is that it's an amazing referral mechanism. Because what's happened to me in the years past, my customers, when they would die, their families, again, were blown away by the fact that a casket was being shipped in, or the funeral director would match the price. When a customer sees that, they tell their family, especially us Hispanic folk. When a customer receives a claim check, not only do you gain a family as a customer, but they tell everybody. Value, value, value. Now, I want to add one more thing. With Senior Life's commission structures, if you do not include this $4 membership, it will affect your commission. And I don't blame them, because I've looked at the stats and I've looked at the numbers. I've looked at the applications that had legacy and the ones that didn't. And I promise you this, the ones that did had a 15% more retention than the ones that didn't. 15%. When you're talking about thousands of applications, guys, you can't measure that. So if you don't want to charge them $4 because you feel it's not worth it, I hope what I'm sharing here with you helps you, because I've been doing it for years. I have the proof, I have the applications, and I have the stats. If you don't want to, don't charge them for it. But it's going to hurt your commission. And guess what? If it's proven that policies that don't have these added value systems, their retention is lower, why wouldn't you add it? Something to think about. Now, again, merchandise, huge. So now with that said, guys, I want to talk to you guys a little bit, about leads, right? So one of the things that a lot of you guys have been asking about is, our lead financing that we offer with Senior Life. And what I want to do is I'm going to share with you guys real quick what it is that we're doing. Now, this is only for my agents at Senior Life, my agents, Herrera Insurance Marketing, nobody else outside of that. We cannot finance you. We can't do that. You have to be in my agency and we can help you. So right here is our lead service agreement. So what Senior Life has done for me and my group, and I'm very grateful about that, is that they have allowed me to finance you, my agent, our lead system. Again, Advanced Grow, my partner Jody Macbeth, we've been selling leads now for several months inbounds, but I've been in the lead generation business for well over 15 years. In fact, for those of you guys that don't know, I started my career at Lincoln Heritage, and I have a huge soft spot for them and what they showed me. And having a lead financing privilege is just that, a privilege. Lincoln Heritage offers it, Senior Life offered it, and we grew. So here is our lead service agreement that we have. And we'll deliver our final expense inbound leads based on this agreement. And like I said, when I started with Lincoln, I started doing television marketing. In fact, I revamped Golden Memorial Spanish marketing in 2007, out of my pocket, paid for the televisions, and we blew up because of leads. So I understand how important good quality leads are. At Senior Life, we kicked off Spanish in 2013. $250,000 1 year on television. I get it. So one of the concessions they have provided us, which makes me very happy, because the reality is a lot of agents, even veteran agents, they struggle to pay for leads. I'm sorry to say. I don't know why, but they struggle. They struggle to stay on top of their lead purchases. And because they're not on top of their lead purchases, because their cash flow cycles might not be there, or maybe they don't have enough in their residuals, it's always a hit and miss with their leads. By us providing you the lead, we'll send the charges to Senior Life. And as you're making those sales, Senior Life will collect those charges on our behalf from your commission checks, and we will weekly keep sending you leads. We provide a training system. That training system's based on an inbound strategy. We work inbounds. So you got to follow our training system. That's approved by Senior Life. But let me share with you guys just a little bit more about our lead system and what we do. Bear with me here. So right here is a CRM, Track Drive. Now, every green icon here where it says in, this is an inbound of people surfing the internet on YouTube looking for a final expense insurance quote. And in that moment in time, that customer calls in. And it's at that point in time, it's showtime. It's at that point in time, you got to follow through on the training that I will provide you. We give a 40% guarantee based on a 30-day window. So if you take 100 calls over the course of a month, you're going to see 40% of those convert to sales, because not all of your sales are going to happen on the first contact. It's not going to happen. Sometimes you need to call back, collect premiums, collect social securities. I mean, there's things that sometimes aren't perfect. But if you follow our training, we give you this guarantee. We don't do no refunds. We just send you, we just keep sending you free leads if you don't make the guarantee, but you're following our system. And I just want to show you a couple audios here, just of agents across America, just like you and me, working. And here, let's play a couple of these here. And ask yourself, can you do this? Can you see yourself sitting at home, working the phone, talking to people that are calling you? You are not going to be outbound dialing. These are not live transfers where there's somebody else involved transferring it to you. This is the highest quality lead that you can possibly buy right now. Check it out.
Final expense online department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Hi, this is Teresa with the Final Expense Online Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
William Smith.
I'm sorry, say that again.
William Smith.
Hi, William. How are you doing today?
Good.
Great. What state are you calling from?
What city you say?
What state? What state are you in?
Street, Inwood Avenue.
Your state.
Oh, state. You said state. Virginia.
Okay,
The
sir.
state is
And
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. And your date of birth, please.
Date of birth is 20.
Listen to another one. Again, people calling in looking for a quote.
Good afternoon. This is Adam Bursan in the Final Expense Online Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Oh, Sammy Weatherford.
Samuel?
Sammy.
Hi, Sammy. Were you looking for this quote for yourself or a loved one?
For myself.
For yourself?
Guys, nothing's perfect. But if you can put yourself in a position as perfect as possible, you're going to win at a bigger rate. Nothing's perfect. This is sales and closing. You still got to be on your toes. Let's listen to another one.
Good afternoon. This is Isabel in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Kent Thomas.
Who?
Kent Thomas.
Hi, how are you doing today?
All right.
That's good. Well, it's a pleasure meeting you. Are you looking for a quote for yourself or a loved one?
For myself.
All right.
Here you go. Think of the amount of stress you have right now when you're working live transfers, and every other call that you're receiving, it's like a mini fight because you're trying to establish like an interest. Or if you're chasing a huge list of people and no one's picking up, it can be demoralizing. Let's listen to one more.
Good morning, this is Rhiannon in the Final Expense Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
That lead would not be billable as it's 13 seconds, so it wouldn't even matter. Let's see. Let's do one more here.
Good morning. This is Isabel in the Final Online Department. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Adam, I'm calling to see about the protection plan that y'all have.
Yes. We could go ahead and get you started. I'm just going to go ahead and ask you a few basic health questions to get you started.
Okay.
And we can go ahead with the quote. Alrighty?
All right.
All right. Can I start with your date of birth, love?
Simple, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it simple. If you follow our training, you're going to have success. You're going to have results. If you need financing, take advantage of this opportunity. But there's one catch. You must be exclusive to Senior Life. So you cannot have carriers outside of Senior Life and expect for us to finance you. And let me tell you why we won't do that, why I won't do that. This is why. Typically what happens with an agent when they have a privilege like this, instead of placing the business with Senior Life, and in this case, they have every product to cover the client. Now, if your concern is that you want to have the perfect product for everyone in the perfect way, you're going to need 50 carriers. You're going to need a lot of them if that's what your angle is. But if your goal is to really provide a fair product and you can do your underwriting, you can get it done with Senior Life. But again, what happens is that agents, they will send the business here, they'll send it there, and then these lead charges on your account stay stagnant. And then you leave, you move on, and then you leave a balance on the books that later I have to come after you to collect. Why even waste our time with that? Do you understand? So if that is something that you don't want to do, this is never gonna be a good fit for you. Now, if you want to buy leads directly from Advanced Grow, you can do that any day you want. In fact, I currently provide leads to a bunch of you guys out there, from Family First to NAA and a bunch of others that we provide leads to. Not a problem, but they pay up front before we deliver. Different ball game. In this case, we can provide you financing. I can provide you a fair compensation. But more importantly, you're going to have a place where you can jump on the phones every day, go to work, sell Senior Life, and repeat. And it's worked for me for many, many years. It's worked for me. And I could come here with all the conviction in the world. Why? Because at the end of the day, I have paid my bills through insurance residuals. And in fact, Senior Life is my biggest paycheck every month. That's been consistent from residuals out of all the other carrier relationships that I have. So with that said, my friends, I hope this really helped for a lot of you guys that are reaching out to me. Again, this does not apply. If you're already at Senior Life, this does not apply. You cannot be a part of this lead financing, as this is a deal for me. But if you want to buy leads, you can definitely go to Advanced Grow, make an order. You can start with an order of 25, and we'll deliver you the leads regardless of who you work for. So with that said, my good friends, I hope you guys have an incredible Tuesday afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock here in California. In the next hour or so, I'm going to hit the lake. The lake is 50 feet away from my house. So every day this summer, it's on. So with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to put the contracting information in the comment section, as well as my ID. So you can go on there, fill out your contracting, punch in my code. And then once I see your contract come through, I will follow up with you and we can chat. Or if you'd like to talk to me before you start contracting, please do so we can make sure that we have some realistic expectations. Because like I said, at the end of the day, we want to do what we say we're going to do. And it all starts with setting some realistic expectations. I'm at an age that, I don't got no time for drama. I just want to focus on work, my family, and do it all over again. So with that said, you guys enjoy your Tuesday and see you guys at top. Peace.